Hey everyone, welcome to Bully Polish. My name is Selena and I'm going to be doing a quick review on dry shampoos I've used over the last few years, and I'm going to be doing this really fast as possible because it's really hot today and my mic kept on picking up the sounds of the window open as well as fans. So I have everything off, everything closed, and I am sweating a lot. So let's try to get through this as fast as possible. First thing I want to point out is that my hair is really oily. Even when I had long hair, I had really greasy roots, and now that it's shorter, I guess it has less space for it to disperse, but it's a huge grease ball. I also have really healthy hair. I don't dye it or anything. I don't even straighten it or anything like that, and I get it cut at least once every 2 months or so, so it's pretty huge grease ball. I actually have to use dry shampoo right after I take a shower at night, just so that it can soak in all those oils that I get overnight while I'm sleeping, and then when I wake up in the morning I have to apply some dry shampoo to it again. First item I want to talk about is BB Prêt-à-Powder. I don't really know how to pronounce this properly with all these accents going on here, but this one is a powder formula. You could either sprinkle on your hand or directly on your hair and just brush it out. This one gives you really good volume. I do like that the most about it, but it feels like I have product in my hair after about 2 days of use. So if you're going to be washing your hair every 2 days, it's fine, but then if you want to be going through more days than that without washing hair, I do not recommend this. It's also quite expensive. I will put the prices down below, and what I don't like about it the most is that Bumble Bumble, they test on animals, so of course I didn't know that before, and now that I do value cruelty-free products, I don't want to be using this. So anyone who has those same values, I do not recommend that as well. And it's pretty expensive too, so not the most economic item to use. A more economic option for a powder formula is baby powder, and this guy lasts a long time, at least 6 months, and it's much cheaper. The prices vary between where you live and which grocery store you pick it up at, but it's definitely cheaper than the Bumble Bumble one, which lasts about 2 months or so. And this guy does not give you volume though, and it can be hard for you to get the white cast out of your hair because, I mean, it's baby powder, it's not meant for your hair. And I'll show you a little clip of when I used it and didn't get out of my hair properly, and you could definitely see it. But another thing I don't like about it is it has talc in it, and apparently there's a link between talc and cancer, so of course I would not recommend this based on that, and the fact that I haven't found any baby powders made by a company that does not test on animals. But even with that aside, you don't want to use something that's going to link you to cancer, especially something you're going to be breathing in all the time. The product that I do recommend if you want to go with powder formulations is by Lush. I don't have it with me because I haven't used it in a couple years. I will be showing you what I do use right now, but that's next. But the Lush one, it doesn't last quite as long as the baby powder. It doesn't give you quite as much volume, or any volume really, as the Bumble Bumble, but I mean, it has some better ingredients in it, and it's more affordable than the Bumble Bumble, so it's a pretty good middle ground. Plus it's cruelty free, so if you value that, and if you value the types of ingredients that you're breathing in and using in your hair every day, then that is something that I would really recommend you use. Klorane. This one is a spray-on type, and it is something that's not very affordable. I bought this off of Sephora, off of the US website, and it really upset me because I waited until April when it had the 15%, goodness, not 50%, never, 15% off VIB discount, and it was $20 US, so I don't know what that works out to. I'll put it down here or somewhere and I'll let you guys know. But I also had to get this shipped to a place that's really close to the border so I could pick it up because I live in Canada, and so that cost me $3 US, and our currency is not great right now, so anything US converted to Canadian is not great for us. And the same day that I had picked it up, I went to a Rexall in Canada, and I found this guy for, I forgot how much. I'll show you guys in this little picture or clip, whatever it was that I had taken at the time. And so that really upset me. And then a couple hours later, I went to a London Drugs, and it was on sale there as well, and even cheaper, and these guys were in Canadian prices. So that really jaded me with the Klorane product, because I just keep seeing it on sale at places that's way cheaper than the Sephora one, even with their discount, and it's in Canadian dollars, and I don't have to go across the border to pick it up. So with that aside, with my bitterness aside, I do actually really like this product. It's really lightweight, but it is 150 milliliters and it's less than the one that Batiste gives you. I'll talk about those ones a little bit later on, and it's more expensive. It does give me not bad volume. I like that it's lightweight. It doesn't feel like I have chemicals in my hair. I could use it for maybe 3-4 days, and that's pretty good without washing my hair and without feeling that there's products in my hair. But I don't think it's worth it in terms of money and my bitterness towards it, and it lasts only 2 weeks for me. I use it twice a day, so it doesn't really last that long. I mean, it's actually less than 2 weeks, a couple days short of, so that's not really affordable at all. I'm going to be talking about several of the Batiste ones. As you can see, I use quite a lot of it. I mean, I use it twice a day, and so I'm going to be going through the original ones and the other fragrances. Wow. So the original one and the other fragrances, I have tried the other ones, but I guess I have recycled them. But I find them quality-wise to be exactly the same. Just the fragrances are different, but I actually don't notice any difference in smells. I do have a pretty bad sense of smell though, so I don't know. I do notice that it's a very aerosol-y, so I have to use it with the fan on. But in terms of, there's a coconut one, this one's a blush one, I forgot what the other ones were, but I don't actually notice a difference between those and the original one. It just smells like aerosol to me, really. But I find them to be quite lightweight, less so than the Klorane, but very slightly so, and it lasts about 2 weeks or so for me, just a couple days more than the Klorane one, but it is a lot cheaper. I can get it, the cheapest I've seen it so far is $5.99 at a Winners. I think that they sell it at Winners quite regularly, and that's in Canadian price, so that's much cheaper than the Klorane one. I mean, the Klorane one, the cheapest I've seen that is probably $12.99, and the most expensive I've ever seen Batiste is $12.99 at Shoppers Drug Mart, because they mark up their prices quite a bit. And so, I mean, this is a lot more affordable. It's only slightly less lightweight, but that's not so bad. It does dissolve pretty easily. I don't even use a comb ever. I know that it does tell you to comb it out, but you could just use your hands and just brush it out, and you don't get that white cast anymore. And it's pretty easy to use. I just wish that it would last longer. This one gives me dark and deep brown hint of color, which I don't really care about. I mean, I guess if you have a problem with the white cast in your hair, then that's why it would recommend this for you. But I mean, it doesn't really stay in your hair. It dissolves pretty easily, so I don't really recommend. I'm not very coordinated. I always accidentally spray it too close to my face, and so I get way too much brown in there, and I even get brown stains on my pillow because of this. And I mean, I mentioned that I use this after I shower before I go to sleep, so that's not a great thing. And a lot of the times I'll touch my hands, I'll touch my hair, and then I'll accidentally touch my face and my forehead, and I'll get these brown fingerprints all over me, so I'll have to clean that up. So I don't recommend this. I don't know, maybe it's meant for people who have maybe some white roots in the hair, but maybe that would benefit them. Otherwise, I don't recommend this. This guy is my least favorite. It's the XXL Volume one. Now this one does give you a lot of volume, but it feels like very wiry, very much like you have product in your hair, just like the same feeling as if you were to spray yourself with hairspray all over your hair. And it's really hard to comb it out. As I mentioned, I never comb or brush my hair, and this gives me tons of tangles. I cannot use this more than once. If I were to try to use this over a couple of days, I could not do that at all. I can't really tangle this or detangle this out. I don't like using combs, but I have to use a comb if I were to use this even once. And if I were to start using it more than the one application, then you start getting a lot of white products in your hair when you're combing it through. You know how that look when you have dry gel on your comb? That's how it looks like. You have like all these white little products all over your hair. So I do not recommend this at all. It does give you volume, but it gives you really a natural looking big hair. So I don't recommend this ever. I forgot to mention that Batiste and Klorane, they do not test on animals, but the companies that own them do test on animals, so you're not directly supporting ingredients or using ingredients that were tested on animals, but at the end of the day, your money's going towards a big umbrella company that is doing that. And I mean, I hope they're not as bad as L'Oreal. I know that's not the umbrella company. I don't remember what it is. I'll list it down below who they're owned by, but yeah, I mean, L'Oreal is probably the worst in my books, just because I know that they lobby against laws that are anti-animal testing laws, so that's pretty bad in my books. But these guys, if you are really want to go for true cruelty-free products, I do not recommend that, and of course I didn't know that until after I bought them. And I would recommend the Lush one if you want to go for a purely cruelty-free product that's pretty good for affordability as well as quality. It's a pretty good product. That's something that I would probably go back to after I use up these products. I actually bought a bunch of these guys in bulk because of the fact that I use them so often, and it's a lot more economic to use. That's something I really recommend you to use if you are looking to get into dry shampoo, especially if you're going to be using it often like I do. But if your values are a little bit different and you just want to use something easy, I do recommend the Batiste one, the original or the scented ones, whichever you want to go for, if you could actually smell a difference. And let me know what you use if you use dry shampoo, and if you have any recommendations on preventing oily hair without having to use dry shampoo, then let me know that as well in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you haven't already, please do subscribe so you can see other goods from us and other types of videos, and I hope that you guys have a great week. I want to totally take a shower and open up all the windows and turn the fan on right now because I may be getting heat stroke. So bye!